So you want to learn tarot, but you don't have the time. I get it. We're all busy. Life's a chaos. Maybe you got kids. You maybe have a full-time job. Maybe you have parents living at home. Whatever it is, we can work through this. I've got 3 tips for you that do not take a long time. 10 minutes a day. I've even got one that's just 15 minutes a week. If you can't do 10 minutes a day, and if you put this into practice on a regular basis, your tarot skills will grow, I promise. So what's the secret? First of all, you know that saying, how do you eat an elephant? The answer is 1 bite at a time. That's what we're doing here. If you build one solid habit or practice, then your tarot skills will grow immensely. So tip number 1 is the daily draw. You've probably heard of it. You've probably done it. However, most people do the daily draw all wrong. So how are they doing it wrong? How might you be doing it wrong? You do it and then you completely forget about it. So you get your notebook out, you pull a card, maybe you write some things down, and then it's completely out of your head, and you wonder, why am I not learning anything? Because the secret is you need to come back to your daily draw at the end of the day and review your day. So when you get started doing this, the only thing you need to do is review your day in like 3 or 4 lines under the card or cards that you pulled for that day. And so you don't need to have any kind of profound insights. And when you pull the card in the morning, you don't need to have like profound predictions. You just pull the card, you write down some thoughts, some notes about it. You come back at the end of the day, you reflect on your day, you write 3 or 4 sentences about your day. What this does is it gets you in the practice of connecting the events of your day to the card that you pulled in the morning. So at first, there's going to be no connection there. You're going to be like, hey, this doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm not seeing the connection. I don't understand. It doesn't matter. You're just training yourself. You're training your brain to start looking for the connections. But if you just pull a card at the beginning of the day and think a couple things about it and then go on, you're not training your brain. You need to train your brain to look for those connections. So that's what you're doing with the daily draw by looking at it at the end of the day. Okay, that's tip number 1. But you say for tip number 2, you're like, hey, I don't even have 10 minutes at the beginning of the day and 10 minutes at the end of the day to do this draw, or 5 minutes at the beginning and 5 minutes. I don't have it. So what you can do is you can do a weekly draw. And so you pick a day, whatever it's Sunday, Monday, whenever you want to do it. And then, but the key is, once again, you come back and you look at it at the end, and you do the same thing where you recount what happened and you just write notes about it. Now, if you're gonna do the weekly spread, then I suggest that it is a spread and not a card or 2. So you need a spread that's going to fit your week. So it's like 3 card spreads work great for weekly spreads. So one suggestion would be my biggest accomplishment, my biggest challenge, and my biggest obstacle this week. Or no, like you do my biggest accomplishment, my biggest challenge, and the advice for the week. That's a 3 card spread. You can do it. I've got a spread deck. I'll link it up in the show notes if you want to use a spread deck. I like to pull my spread deck cards at random, but I mean, you can actually go through and choose which positions you want. But like I said, for the weekly spread, make sure you have an actual spread and then go back and review it and just keep that practice going. You're going to eat the elephant 1 bite at a time. Then the 3rd tip here is this can work great for your daily draw as long as you're pulling 2 or 3 cards. So if you pull 2 cards for your daily draw, which is what I do, just because one card, it's like, where are we going with this? The second card gives you a better idea. And this is why, as I'm going to explain in this tip, you practice card linking, okay? You're going to practice card linking with your 2 cards from the daily draw, because tarot talks to me, it talks to you, but tarot also talks to itself. The cards also talk to each other. So what you're doing when you're looking at spread linking is you're looking at, okay, how are these cards interacting? How are these cards talking to each other? So all you do is you look at the 2 cards and you're kind of looking for symmetry or asymmetry. So it's like, how are these cards alike? How are these cards different? Oh, both of these cards have women in them? That's alike. Well, both of them happen to be wands? That's alike. One's a wands and one a sword? That's different. But what's the same is wands and swords are both shaped like this. And you just brainstorm different things about the cards. If you happen to have some correspondences and stuff around the cards, you're like, oh, these are both about friendships, or these are both about relationships, or these are both about situations I'm in, whatever it is. And you look at the cards and you brainstorm how they're linked together. And then sometimes, they will talk to you, like something will pop into your head. You'll be like, oh, I think this card is saying blah, 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 blah. And this card is saying blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, well, that's interesting. So, but once again, all of this does not happen right at the beginning. Don't expect all that to happen at the beginning. Do it very regimented and very rote, and just do the practice, and you will be eating the elephant one bite at a time. And the next thing you know, you'll be reading cards. So, I'll catch you on the flip side.